Wow. I learned something the hard way when it comes to having multiple handhelds. I knew I had a good setup on my devices, but there's a few things I failed to do. And maybe you might run into the same type of stuff. And if you do, then stick around and let me tell you my mistakes. And maybe you can bypass some of the problems like I did. And maybe we can relate and we both ran into the same problems. And those of you who never face these issues and you could probably throw some extra tips to help us all in the comments. Whichever it is, let's get started. What is going on, you guys? Your boy Famous Kid Video Game Entertainment. And before we go any further, make sure you hit the like, subscribe button. Click like, subscribing. It's always a big help. I'm the type of person, I don't like to use my phone to play games when I'm at places where I have to wait. I usually just bring a handheld. I know it's the most easiest to where that you can play games like Android games and stuff like that, and also you can load up your emulators and everything else. And I can use this controller to basically set up my games, and I can just start playing, which is mostly like the easiest way. You can get one of those clips, and you can just or with a controller, and you can start playing games. I rarely do that. Okay. Now, in most cases, I'll bring my Switch. To me, it's real rounded. Like, I could play a new serious game like the new Zelda, Luigi's Mansion, Batman, or even Skyrim if I want. But also go nostalgia and play like the Sega Genesis collection, Atari 50, Castlevania collection, or Contra collection, even some of the old Metal Gear. And these are games I'm not using an online subscription. These are actual physical games that I can pop in and play. Okay. Now, if I want to go stealth with my gaming, my go-to is the Miyu or Mayo A30. I'm not going to lie to you about that. I don't know if I even said that name right. So you guys can correct me in the comments. Okay. After I spruce this thing up, playing like Game Boy Color, like Super Mario Brothers Deluxe, it is so much fun. Game Gear too. Game Gear is off the chain. Okay, now then there is, if all else fails, get my nostalgia fix handheld. My go-to, ironically, is the Logitech G Cloud. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I have not used the G Cloud for game streaming. I did it once, and that was to do like a review on this channel. But after that, it's been like emulation crazy. Now, if I want to do if I want to go like to do my like budget flexing, that if I'm kind of like just see if someone to show like some nostalgia, just show it off, some nostalgic quality that would catch attention. No lie, the Ambernick RG556 to play some GameCube or some Neo Geo on that OLED screen. It does catch attention. I had experience from playing like Super Metroid on it, and conversation sparked up. Now I know you're asking, Famous, what does all this has to do with your mistakes? Okay, let me tell you. Okay, a couple weeks ago, it was about that time. It's about this time to do the maintenance on the car. Okay, so I take the car to the spot to go do the maintenance. Now, at that point in time, I don't know about y'all, but I can't. I gotta wait. So I have to wait to be able to, so they can do their thing. So I'm just waiting. But before this is where the story unfolds. Before I left to go do the maintenance on my car, I wanted to take a handheld with me. Okay. Now, remember, if you see my last couple of videos, I'm in the process of moving. So what the fact is, I was like, okay, I'm finna go ahead and take a handheld with me, which my first thing I did grab was my Switch. Okay. Now, since I've been busy, I haven't got a chance to go ahead and charge up my handhelds. So that's a mistake. That's a mistake right there. So I went ahead and I turned on my Switch, and my Switch was completely dry. Because I've been playing the new Zelda, and the fact is that it's been a couple of days since I keep going with the game, and I forgot to put it on charger. That was my mistake. Now usually if at a full charge, like the Switch, it can actually hold a charge for quite a few days if you just don't you ain't gonna touch it if you have it off. But at the same time, and it did, which means that it went past that allotted time since I picked it up because I've been so busy. So at the same time, I was just like, you know what? Okay, finally, I was like, you know what? Let me see if I can put it on charger. But that was going to take a while though, because I already set my, set my timing up for me to do for my car to get maintenance. So I went ahead and I was just like, okay, forget it. I'm not going to grab that one. So I grabbed another handheld. The handheld I did try to grab, I did not grab the Miu A30. I did not. I went ahead and got my if all else fails, if all else fails, let's get the Logitech G Cloud. That was not charged up because the last game I played up on that one, and I actually played that one in full, was Castlevania. I'm probably gonna batter his name. I think Order of Ecclesia. Just please correct me in the comments if I said that name wrong. But that was the last game I played seriously on the Project G Cloud. That was the game I was playing. So I was thinking about getting into another game that I wanted to play because that's when I wanted to start Zelda afterwards. And I put it on charger. When I came back, my G Cloud did not charge. It did not charge because I put it on the wrong charger. So at that same time, that was one of my mistakes. I did not know. Now, one thing I wanted to say, these are different tips that's why I was going with this story, because at the same time, because of those mistakes that I made, I basically was trying to go ahead and I tried to turn it on, and I had to do I had to go ahead and do like some sort of reset. Well, not factory reset, but I had to do some sort of reset to get the power to work again. I had to, you know what I'm saying? So there's some steps to do when it comes down to doing the G Cloud to go ahead and get it back on when it's like that. Sometimes the switch is like that too. If you don't charge it or something like that, then all of a sudden, like for some reason it won't work, and you have to do some sort of like, you have to press and hold the power for like I think about like 7 seconds. You guys correct me in the comments if I'm wrong about this. And then you press it again, and then it'll boot up. So those are different mistakes that I had made when charging these things, when basically using these handhelds. Now, another thing is I picked up another handheld that was one of my other handhelds that I was using. I forgot which one it was, but it required an update. So sometimes the handhelds, they won't work right unless you do the update. And that's another thing that I wanted to kind of conversate with you guys about, because some of these handhelds require certain chargers. The best thing to do is use the cable that comes with it. But in some cases, if you don't, just try not to get like a cheap cable, because some of my cables that I do have been like one of those cheap versions or something like that. There's one I got it from this anime convention, and it was a C-type cable, and it had like the different colors and stuff like that, and I thought it was kind of cool. My wife got one and stuff like that, and I got one, but it did not it does not charge right. And I have tried to charge up my phone and please don't try to actually send data and stuff like that through those type of cables. They're not gonna work right. It's just for me. And also, of course, make sure that your SD card is a good SD card. Don't use the same one that the one that came with that's been sent to you through the factory, because that might not be a good idea either. So these are definite mistakes that I had made, and these are not just like recent mistakes. Some of them I made like like a long time ago down the road, and I also, my handheld didn't even work right. So as I got used to it over time, then I was like, okay, cool. That's the reason why I was like, basically like, you know what, this video, I really want to inform others in case run through the same mistake that I did. I truly messed up, and some of my handhelds I had to like completely reset. So that means all my games and everything was like gone, because things, make sure you have a quality cable. The cable that comes with it, that comes into the package, is probably the best cable that you're gonna be able to use. If you want to get you a better one, just at least get it, make sure it's a good quality cable that has, that way you can like transfer data, and you can charge it up pretty cool. Most of the time, like the Samsung chargers, if you get the Samsung chargers, those pretty much work very well. Make sure you do the updates. If you're able to get Wi-Fi, if your handheld does not have Wi-Fi to where it has, use the dongle. Get the dongle. I'll leave links in the description so you can just grab one. Those things works amazing. They for real. The updates is essential when it comes down to these handhelds, because you never know that there might be quality updates. And even Ambernic, even with their stock setups, they usually send you like an email that they have updates, and you can just basically reinstall your stuff, and they works a lot better too. So make sure you just kind of do stuff like that. I have handhelds that I got a second one that I ain't even like open up yet. So it's just stuff like that. Now that I know that I got like so many handhelds and stuff, I really got to make sure that I use the proper stuff for these handhelds, because making mistakes like that, and just even when I'm on the go and stuff, I got to make sure that I can be trying to make those mistakes. So I'm just sharing it with you. If you ever made mistakes like that before, or had problems with like your SD card, stuff like that, please tell me a story in the comments. And if you didn't, I mean, just let me know that, hey, I never had that problem before. I totally understand. You know, some other tips that you can tell us, that so that way we don't make these type of mistakes, please let us know in the comments. So the reason why I do these videos is because that way we can all help each other. So I truly appreciate you guys. All right, you guys, and with that being said, I'm out, yo. All right, and from gamer to gamer, thanks for watching.